This is Summerweendolls, a collab I am doing with Raiinbow Bitez. Today we are doing zombie dolls. I'm going to be making a zombie doll today. I just want to work on a little bit on my setting because that was not looking right. I did like the brassy gold better, but this is what I have. Her hand broke while I was looking at her today, and I'm going to make her dress first before I repair her hand, but it does tell you how cheapy these fake Monster High dolls are, that by just moving the hand it will snap clean off. I'm making a zombie prom dress for this doll. It's just going to be a simple tie-around dress because the more ripped and ratcheted it looks, the longer you know she's been a zombie. I'm making a tulle underlayer and this linen cotton overlayer. I've already poked the holes through that, and this was material that I just ripped off a larger piece because I want it to be as frayed as possible. She is a pretty doll with pretty hair for a fake, but again, very, very cheaply made. So and the more ripped the better for this doll. I think she's coming out pretty cute, but I really want to get her hair out of the way. Oh, there's a big old knot, and look at what happened when I tried to pull the knot out. Maybe I could use this to do up her hair with, but it just shows you that they're badly rooted, poorly rooted, they're sparsely rooted, and it just, oh, it's terrible. But that didn't work, so I'm just gonna do up her hair and then do it in the same tulle. I did buy this in a bag from Goodwill. I did not buy this doll new, and I've had her for several years. I do have an interesting idea to fix her hand, but I'll only do that after I rip up her dress even more and more, because again, she was at prom when a zombie attack happened. I was gonna glue that into her hand, but I'm out of epoxy glue, so I'm gonna use this glue dot to just adhere that to her hand. Now that won't stay, it's like press-on nail glue tape, but I'm going to be doing the same method that I used to make my zombie doll, but I'm going to use a higher concentration of glue. That won't open, so I'm going to use the Crazy Art School glue, and it's just going to be glue this time, no water, which will decrease the drying time, I do believe. So I'm making her a cast. So her hand will no longer be articulated like it was, but it wasn't very articulated because it snapped off. So be careful with the fakey dolls that you get at like the dollar store or in fake little shops, because they are not as quality as the other doll. She is rubber and hard plastic. Her knees do not bend at all, but they are hard rubber, like rubber plastic. So I'm going to wrap this up in glue, and then I'm going to let it dry for a few minutes. I may scale down on her cast because it's a little bulky. I am doing a base coat of watercolor pencils just to give it a little bit of more color. The blue is almost perfect for zombies anyway. Also, a good color is green. And I will show you photos of my other zombie dolls that I've made when I've completed this. It's working fine. It would be better if I had coated her in Super Mr. Clear, but I do not have any M90 mask yet. There is a shortage. Those are the masks that filter out everything. I would prefer to have those masks before I use Super Mr. Clear. I do have Super Mr. Clear to use though. They filter out everything, so I could just go in my garage, put on the mask, spray it, and then let it dry, and then I wouldn't have to worry, because Super Mr. Clear is Super Mr. Deadly. It can kill you. So I'm using glue and that makeup palette I just showed you that I bought broken already. It was brand new, but it was broken, so it was only 30 cents. I only used the purple, and the purple wasn't broken, so it's fine. And I am going to use a little bit of purple on here because it is my favorite color, but mostly I'm using brown and maybe a little bit of blue. I'm putting the makeup where you would normally contour your face. That is where the makeup is going. You can also coat this in Mr. Clear afterward or other sealants, but if you use things like tacky glue or Mod Podge, remember it will be slightly tacky, hence the name, and you don't want to have anything on top of the doll. You don't want to put it away because then parts of that makeup could stick to something else and rip off. I've had that happen before, not with dolls, but with other projects. I think she's looking pretty good. I'm filling in her lip right now because it just had a slightly area where it had been rubbed off. I think that looks okay. But I did get a little bit of marker on her face, so I'm just trying to cover that up right now. And, everyone knows that when I do a custom, and I'm going to make it weird or gross, I use the most broken doll I can, which is what I did with this broken hand doll. I was going to fix up another doll, but with this broken hand, she had to be the candidate. I was going to use the white doll that I had tried to make a ghost doll out of, but this one had to be the candidate. I think she turned out pretty good for a zombie prom queen. I did coat her in a little bit of fake blood, which is appropriate for a zombie. I just want to thank Raiinbow Bites for taking part of this collab and doing all of them with me, because I've had this idea for years about doing Halloween dolls, and I just never had the motivation to actually do it. And because she was willing to do all the prompts with me, it made it a lot more fun. I have to thank you for that. This is not the last week. Next week is the last week, August the 30th, so 2 weeks from now. I know some kids are back at school, some kids aren't, so summer is winding down, so we have to end Summerweendolls, but the next one is something that Erica came up with, and it's pretty ingenious. And because I don't watch horror movies very often, I wouldn't have come up with the idea. She wants to do our favorite horror movie villain. I have picked mine, even though I don't watch a lot of horror movies. I did pick mine. No one is supposed to know what you pick. And then you're supposed to come out with your video on the 30th, which will be 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 for her, because we are in different time zones. I do believe Little Crafty Kitty will take part in that one like she did in the vampire one, because she's a little excited. She loves horror movies too, just like the other Erica. And I think it will be a lot of fun, and the collab is only open until September the 15th. Like, we're stopped doing videos. We're not going to do any more. Me and Erica from Raiinbow Bites, we're done. But if you want to do your own video and be added into the playlist and it can be any of the prompts. You can just do your favorite. I would not suggest doing mummy. It was kind of awful. It was it was hard. So I wouldn't suggest mummy, but werewolf was fun, vampire was fun, ghost dolls was super fun and easy. This one was fun as well. So there are a lot of ones you can choose from, vampire, whatever you want. Erica from Low Crafty Kitty did an awesome vampire. You should check that out. That is in the playlist. As I said, the playlist will be closed on the 15th of September. Please enjoy these pictures of my zombie dolls and zombie paintings. Thank you for watching. Bye!